By the way, patriarchy is never going to end. There will not be a time where men are not still the ones in power. I think a comedian said this best. He said women waited till when air conditions were in offices before they started fighting for feminism. And the hardest job in this world are done by men.
Wow.
The STEM jobs.
I mean, the hardest job is actually giving birth to a child, actually. So that's done by women.
And you need a man to do that.
A woman brought you into the world and grew the bones that you have now.
You need a man to do that. My father, I watched him suffer from a head bullet wound.
Yeah.
Entering. Can you stop it?
I'm listening now.
No, sunflower.
I'm listening.
No interjection. No.
Finish your points now.
Yo.
I'm listening.
Don't do that.
I'm listening.
Chidera.
Yes.
It is said, you may agree or disagree, that men are in their prime in their 40s and women are in their prime in their early 20s.
What does prime mean?
A man, prime for a man, according to
just for the context of the viewers.
For the context, according to, I'm working with your ideology, he can provide.
Okay.
He can buy you a nice bag. He can pay you a salary if you sat at home for a year taking care of the baby.
Is that what you consider his prime?
Yes, when he can afford, when he's fine, because everything you asked for is financial in nature. At the end of the day, you want a man to take care of you while you're pregnant. It's not going to come free. You definitely don't want to be in a car that does not have AC. You don't want to fly economy class.
Financial stability.
Financial stability. Yeah. So a man in his prime at say 40 meets you as a Gen Z in your prime now.
Well, I'm not Gen Z, but I'm listening.
Okay, but let's imagine.
I'm 31.
Oh wow! You look quite good, then.
31 is young.
Yeah, you look 20. You look you're in your 20s anyway.
Nah, don't give her too much credit. You can tell all that hate is aging her.
So let's imagine you're 26, and this guy is 40. You are beautiful. Everything is fine, and then you get this guy because he's the guy. He's good looking. Everything you want, met all your standards.
Okay.
And you also met all his standards. Mercedes and BMW and Rolls-Royce and Ferrari are notorious for one thing. Every 5 years, they upgrade the model, and every 10 years, they overhaul the model.
Okay.
10 years from now, you're 36.
Okay.
Would it be fair for him, because he's still in his prime, to go for a new model?
Just like, I mean, it's fair for anyone to do what they want to do, right? Just like how for the woman, if I also want to go for a man who has more money, it's fair for me to do that. So everybody should do their thing.
Well, I'll say this. As a man, I believe that's one of them games that you probably should not play for, is all the upgrading or whatnot. If you got a good woman, I think you should hold on to the woman. Now, if you discuss with her that you possibly want another woman, that's a completely different lifestyle. But just tossing her to the side because she in order, I definitely do not agree with that.
He has more money. He is the man.
Who has more money?
He is the prize. The same guy.
No man is ever the prize.
You at 31, no matter how beautiful you are, you can't be that beautiful at 41.
I've met many women who are beautiful at 41.
Not like
and they do date men who have money and they're living. Not necessarily. I think that's a myopic view to have.
I'm going to say this. She's a rough 31, so by the time she get 40, there's no telling what the looks might be looking like.
I think that women are beautiful across all age groups. I didn't finish my point. Women are beautiful. I didn't finish my point. Thank you, guys. Women are beautiful across all age groups, and I just want us to be really careful about how we discuss.
No, you can't say men are. It's the equivalent of you saying all men are rich. No,
I didn't say all men are rich.
Delusion, man.
I didn't say all men are rich.
No. Women, if we're using your standards.
I'm answering your question about can he switch it out?
Can we say all men are rich?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case, though.
No, but can we say all men are rich since all women are just beautiful and the prize?
How did we go from beautiful to rich?
How can we say all women are beautiful?
That's how you view.
So a man can decide.
Equivalences. There's a false equivalence.
A man can decide that he's rich in character.
That's
rich
good for him.
Yeah.
He's rich in emotional
intelligence. You can't pay medical bills. You can't pay medical bills with character.
Your beauty can be inner beauty, but you're saying that all women are beautiful, right?
That's subjective. That's your opinion.
Can we say the same for a man?
No,
right?
we can't.
The reason why they even having this conversation, because all she wants as a man is for money, and to have money is going to take time, and she says a man has to pay for her time and beauty. So that's how we're on the. If I'm picking you for beauty, why are you picking a man for his money?
And that's
Why?
your opinion. Well, the reason why is like
that?
you said, not all men are rich.
Why is that? See, honestly, I don't.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
I don't think you're a feminist.
I don't think that you're man enough to be having this discussion with me.
Are you a feminist?
Yes.
I don't think you're a feminist.
I'll describe myself as a radical feminist.
You're not a feminist.
I am a
right?
feminist.
If by the definition,
you don't get to tell a woman whether she's a feminist or not.
I don't think you're a feminist.
Well, I don't think that you have.
Like a
I don't think you have enough masculinity to navigate this conversation with me properly.
Phil, she brought Moses.
Emasculation doesn't work on me. You can get me a red dress or a pink dress. I can wear it right now.
I love that. I love that. This is a queer friendly space.
You ain't gotta wear a dress to prove a point, but like you said, emasculation does not work.
This is a queer friendly space.
Emasculation doesn't work on me. You are
That's positive
you
to
are
hear.
a misandrist. I think you don't like men.
I am a misandrist. I don't like men.
Beautiful. Then
let's get to the point now.
Stop using feminism as a
feminists
cover
can be misandrist
to
too.
what you
Feminists can be misandrist
you understand?
too.
You are going out of the whole context and everything.
Slumflower, you know what we'll do?
That's not what feminism was supposed to be for. It's supposed to be for women actually being able to get equality and get the same rights that men have and be able to do the same things that men can do in the modern times. But for her to say that misandry and misandry is the hatred of men, that is crazy for it to be that extreme.
So
for me, it's about...
What is love to you?
So for love to me, first of all, is an emotion that is all about making someone feel irreplaceable, valued, and special. Now, if we're talking about romantic love in the context of me being a straight woman who dates men, a man who loves me pours into me and takes things off my plate because he wants to see me living a life that is easy and soft and at peace.
So is it only money that he can use to do all that? That can pour into
you?
No, it doesn't have to only be money, but money is a non-negotiable factor for me.
For you?
For me.
Okay, so he talked about if a lady comes to see him, I want to bring it to the feminist level. Okay. So he said if a lady comes to see him and she doesn't have money for cab, that he could pay, right? So
for the cab?
Yeah, so why is it bad for a woman to do something like that for a man?
Something like what? Sorry.
Like
paying for a man's cab.
Like the way men support women. Like the way women always say, "Oh, you should be doing this for me. You should be doing that for me." Why is it so bad in our society that a girl that has decided to do the same for a man is called a pick-me?
Well, because it ultimately boils down to the fact that she's forgotten her worth, and there's another man who could have just as equal interest in her, who could be just as interesting, just as good looking, and he can pay his own way or even more, give her money.
So how does that make you a feminist?
Well, how it makes me a feminist is that I'm exercising my choice and I'm exercising my rights to seek better in this life, because prior to the feminism wave that we're lucky enough to experience, women were either forced into marriages with men who had nothing to offer them, and they had to endure abuse, domestic violence, and even death, sometimes even being sectioned in mental institutions.
I thought it was equity, not better. Yeah.
If she was an actual feminist, she would actually be in agreement to a woman being able to do the same things that a guy would normally do. It would break down the traditional norms. But you see, she's speaking against it still. She really a chameleon. She just want to be taken care of. She want to use men. She already said that she hate them, so yeah.
You know.
So equity means
Can you please explain
conditions.
Equity?
Yes, thank you for the question. So equity, essentially, in the conversation of feminism, when we're talking about equality versus equity is about making up for what has been lost. So that won't always look equal. So when we talk about equity in terms of the conversation of feminism, equity is about giving women the head start that they were lacking to begin with. So what equity can look like is women, especially when they're in marriages, making sure that they marry well, making sure that even in the contract that they are advocated for, because, and maybe you'll be able to help us pull up the statistics, but apparently, according to statistics, which you'll be able to help us confirm, the cost of household labor that women do is about $300 and something thousand.
That's a lie.
Per year. But
man, stop it. She's saying that a woman at home taking care of the household is worth $300,000 per year. That is cap as hell.
maybe you have to help me confirm that statistic. So a woman's time is worth a lot, to the point where men are able to have the careers that they have now, mainly married men, right, who have been in their positions for years and years. They're able to thrive in their careers because they have a woman at home who's running the household for them, who's making sure that the things that they have to think about, the logistics, someone else is handling that. And I often wonder where women would be if we had someone doing that for us at home. But in the conversation of dating and talking about equity and discussing your question about, well, what about if a woman pays a man's way? Why is that seen as bad? It's seen as bad because earlier in the conversation, we discussed how men make up the main shareholders of the money in the world, right? So in a world where women statistically earn less globally, it feels like pouring a bucket into the ocean to give a man money when, again, the point comes back to, as a man, if you can't afford to date a woman, then you probably should focus on prioritizing your career, your financial well-being, and your goals rather than chasing a woman for sex.
Are you straight? Are you a straight woman?
Yeah, I date men.
Okay. But are you dating right now?
I'm open to dating. I'm not actively dating.
I would hope if you really found somebody that you appreciate and you like, that y'all could actually help each other out. I'm not saying you have to take care of a man. Vice versa, he don't have to take care of you. If y'all appreciate each other, y'all should want to hold each other down.
Anyone, but I'm open.
Political answer.
Well, I don't have a boyfriend right now, if that's your question.
Okay.
But I'm open to dating. I'm, exploring my options.
Let's have your take.
I hear a lot of women, bringing out the stats, but when you say men are the ones with the power, the economical power and all of that, the question is why?
Good question.
How did we get to that point?
Great.
Patriarchy.
Where it happens. Meanwhile, patriarchy is a good system to me. That is my opinion. I feel it's a system like any other system, democracy, medicine, any other topic, that it's getting better with time. How did we get here in the first place? How is it that men are the ones that, were working and earning at the time? 500 years, 1,000 years ago, there's no job that you want to do that doesn't require strength. Men did not come into the world to meet a wonderful space. I think a comedian said this best. He said, women waited till when air conditions were in offices before they started fighting for feminism.
Hey.
Listen,
That's real.
Listen. I said I'm just quoting a comedian, right?
That's real.
So what am I?
Keyword is comedian.
What
Clown.
What am I?
Don't do that. Don't try and minimize it. It's the truth. Women, they don't want to do the same type of work that men do. Do we have women out there that's doing, laborious jobs? For sure. But it is not to the same degree as the guys that's doing extremely dangerous jobs.
What am I saying? Now, if we were born in the era of, the caveman or the first men, everything you had to do, you will wake up in the morning and there will be a saber-toothed tiger next to you. You have to fight that. There will be harsh weather, there will be scorching sun, there will be rainstorms and all of that. Men were required to fight those things and build everything because they had the strength to do them. And we had to train our younger men to also be strong and put them in the position of leadership because they are the protectors and providers.
That's real.
Now, this system have come through from the beginning of time and we are narrowing it down to today, and we have also listened to the women. By the way, patriarchy is never going to end. There will not be a time where men are not still the ones in power. Even if we have a female president in Nigeria, the cabal that rules the country, that really, that it's always the cabal that really rules the country, those people will be made of men because that is what the destiny is meant to be.
The destiny.
Yes.
I like how he said destiny. Yeah, man. And I don't even know how she can actually argue this to where she's not going to go out there and be able to fight other men. We talking about other real soldiers, people that's trained to kill. You have to get men, and even just men alone can't do it. You have to get trained men. Men are the bred to actually be able to fend off these type of attacks. The world now is so modern, man. You can have people that actually can say these things and think it to be true when they don't understand how the world really works and the dangers that's out there.
That is how it was created. We cannot change it.
I don't think that's destiny.
We cannot change it because at the end of the day, throughout history, so many men have died to protect their children and their women.
From what?
From bad men, bad women. Listen to me.
You got bad
Point
women
proven.
too.
From bad men, from bad women,
Wild animals.
wild animals, from harsh weather condition.
What is she
And
talking about?
you see, I was reading about the subject of polygamy. Do you know that polygamy actually started because what women do is that they go to the strongest men way back to be able to be protected from other men, protected from wild animals, protected from other crazy ladies around and all of that. So a bunch of women can come and say, this man is the strongest man in the village. We want to be with him.
Yep.
That is how this thing started. I'm talking about 1,000, 2,000 years,
what's the
like
point you're
way
making?
back. So what I'm saying is that there was a reason why patriarchy came up. Patriarchy did not come up because we just hated women and want to deal with them.
Yes, it did.
It was it came up as a result of something.
It was an answer.
So let me take medicine, for example. 200 years ago, if you have a broken bone, would you use anesthesia to treat you?
They give you alcohol.
They will give you something and they will bend that bone inside. But right now, it's getting better. Right now, you go to the hospital, they find a way to, make you sleep and all of that. That is what patriarchy is. So we are going to get to a time where, in fact, we have gotten to a time that we have listened to women enough. We have worked on the system and we are getting it better to a point where anything that a man can be, a woman can also be. Right. Mention a law in Nigeria that is for the men and is not for the women.
I just want to say this real quick. Women are involved in all form and facets of life, especially STEM, like science, technology, engineering, and math. Women are heavily in that field now. It's still majority dominated by men, but women have complete autonomy to do whatever they want when it comes down to work or whatever field they want to get into. So sometimes when I hear these talking points from people stressing that women can't do anything, that's scary to say because you can do whatever you want. It just depends on where you're trying to put your mind and time to.
Mention one.
Well, first of all, when we look at marital rape, that is still a very sketchy grey area.
Wow.
Especially when women go to the courts and report their husbands for rape. They don't get prosecuted.
Okay, so what proof does she have?
Is that because men run the country?
I want to bring you on to that. Marital rape, yes, is a very big thing. And according to many, they're modifying it now and they're amending the laws now. And before, a man cannot rape his wife. You understand?
Men have always raped their wives, but
however, in the eye of the law, it didn't exist.
Specify
but now
that.
They are trying to amend. In some places, actually a crime now.
Yeah.
However, in no place in Nigeria can a man be raped by a woman.
Nope.
Exactly.
Why would you say exactly? Women, when they want it, they attack guys all the time. But guess what? We just suck it up and go ahead and give it up. We're not going to go ahead and act like, oh, no, I'm just not in the mood or whatnot. Men would look stupid to even say something like that, to be married to a woman and say, nah, I'm okay, unless something serious has happened. I don't understand. Maybe in Africa, it probably was a serious thing, but I just can't understand if you get married to someone why you wouldn't want to continuously have sex with that person.
No. Abroad, a man can be raped by a woman. But in Nigeria...
So you're proving the point that we have a system
I think
in
what
place.
he's trying to say
what I'm trying to say is
no justice.
If you raped him,
raped.
it's impossible for you to rape him according to our system.
Exactly. That's because the system we have in place, which is patriarchy.
Wow.
No.
It affects everyone.
You can't rape him.
I don't want to rape him.
What I'm saying
it's possible for women to rape men, but I'm saying
that
it's
not legally possible.
What do you mean it's not legally possible for women to rape a man?
You are the one that is putting it wrong.
That's not correct.
What he's trying to say is that if a man rapes a woman in Nigeria, he could get justice. If she could get justice.
Yes.
If she doesn't get justice, probably because of the way the country is and blah, blah, blah. But if a woman rapes a man...
Okay.
I do not think that there is a law that
doesn't seem
exactly. That's a flawed
justice.
system because we have a flawed system in place.
But you brought up marital rape.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to get at here.
So
We have a
about
flawed
men
system.
being raped.
That's what I'm saying. We have a flawed system in place where everyone is being affected, including men. So you're saying,
you think that is because of
You brought that up for women. Don't try and switch it up now and say that it's a flawed system for everyone. No, you brought it up to try and defend the woman's side.
This young man is saying.
You get me
So
drunk.
this young man is saying that patriarchy is a good system, and I'm disagreeing and saying it's not a good system. Patriarchy is a system where, depending on where you are in the world, you might not even stand the chance to live your life fully as a woman if you're born. I mean, there's countries in the world where if it's a female child that's born, the child gets killed. That's very common in India.
That is true.
Now we're seeing a rise. I've been noticing it on the internet. I'm seeing a rise of children that are of the age of wearing school uniform. And I'm seeing videos of men who are supposed to be their relatives or their teachers being accused of raping those children. We have a problem, and that problem is men.
Okay,
and that problem comes from patriarchy.
It's a human
and I haven't
problem.
finished
It's
my
not a
point.
man
And I
problem.
haven't finished my
You have
point. And
interjected
I haven't
several
finished my
times.
point. And I haven't finished my
It's about
point.
people.
And I haven't finished
It's
my
about
point.
people.
And I
It's about
haven't
people.
finished my point. And when we're talking about people aren't just people. We have a system in place that men significantly, largely benefit from. You said it by yourself that men are the ones in power, which is a good point you've made, because it proves the point I'm making here, which is that given that women exist in a world where men largely hold the power, we deserve to make choices that are assessing whether this man is worth the risk that I'm taking. Because the reality is, when you teach young children to stay away from strangers,
You have
right?
that choice.
You're not going to say to them, stay away from some strangers. You're going to tell them any stranger that comes up to you that's not your mommy or your uncle or your daddy who you know that lives with you, you do not speak to that person. Because the reason why is you don't know where
stranger is a specification.
Exactly.
As well.
I'm making a point. Don't worry.
Okay.
We don't know where the danger could come from.
Ma'am, you being disrespectful with the men and the women. This is crazy.
In the same way, when women are like, you know what, I need to stay away from men when I'm in this neighborhood because this is a dangerous neighborhood and women are frequently attacked in this neighborhood. She's not going to say, you know, some men are nice, some men, the damage and the risk could come from anywhere. So patriarchy is a bigger conversation than just your feelings and your opinions. This is about women's livelihoods. This is about our well-being. And this is about us. Ultimately, the biggest risk to our lives is still a man.
Okay, so I don't believe that
That's crazy.
evil has a gender or have a gender.
True.
Evil doesn't. So with my work with men, at least 7 out of 10 men I deal with that have either masturbation problem, substance abuse, and other issues that they have, we try to trace it back to where it started. It's usually one auntie, one senior sister friend did something to me.
Sexually abused
Yeah,
them as
it's
children.
terrible.
Sexually abused them as children.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I don't believe evil has a gender. I think the evil that women do are done silently.
And gracefully.
I
And
agree.
that is why I think they are
You go, no let me rest. Now why would they?
Watch the ID network. They will show you a lot of women who have done heinous things throughout time. Nurses that have done things to children. Women, like you said, women doesn't come. I mean, evil doesn't come in a gender. Anybody is capable of it, but it seems like the things that men have done always get put on the forefront, and they don't never acknowledge anything the woman has done.
Cash them.
you understand, it's done silently. There are women that are, you know, putting a drop of sniper in their husband's food every day, killing him
Sniper.
slowly.
Oh, is it poison?
The
Yes.
poison.
Yeah.
Oh my
Killing
God.
him
Necessarily
slowly.
poison, but
Wow.
Who has it harder in modern dating, men or women? Pharaoh.
We all know.
I'm looking at it right now.
We all know that order.
modern
I honestly feel we both have it, you know, hard.
Okay.
I can't even say who
But
has
there's
it
hard, there's
harder.
harder, and there's hardest.
I can't say who has it harder because there are burdens that are on women. There are also real, you know, burdens on men.
in modern dating.
Yes, in
Are
modern
men risking
dating.
losing their lives in dating?
Yes, every day.
So every time a man goes on a date, is he scared that the woman might kill him after?
Okay, so in
'Cause
order
we
for me
definitely
to
bear
pay,
that fear as
in order
women.
for me to pay for that date, maybe I have to climb a pole and go and work. You remember that?
Wait, climb a pole? Why
know
did I
that-
climb a pole?
He's
Do you
talking
know-
about the work hazard.
Do you know that? Yes,
Work
I might be
hazard.
working for NEPA.
Yes.
And the hardest
Oh.
job in this world are done by men.
Wow.
The STEM jobs.
I mean, the hardest
are
job is
still
actually
do-
giving birth to a child, actually. So that's done by women.
That's a choice,
And
though.
you need a man to do
A woman
that.
brought you into the world and grew the bones
You need
that
a
you
man
have
to
now.
do that.
A man's
you don't get
contribution
yourself
is only the
pregnant.
nuts.
You don't.
Have you met a man that's given birth before?
Men don't give birth.
Exactly. So he's
Okay.
not making the large part of the contribution. But
Okay,
finish
so
your point.
how is giving birth harder than every other
Insufferable.
aspect of things that men have to do. Like basically everything that makes.
Is that what you're going to say to your mother when she talks about your birth story and tells you how she nearly died bringing you into the world?
My mother told me how hard it was bringing the children, and my father also. I watched him. Can I finish?
Yeah, finish.
This woman disrespectful.
I mean, it's funny for someone that says she doesn't want to be interrupted.
Please. I really want to hear this.
Can I not be interrupted?
I'm waiting for him, please.
Slumflower, let him make his point.
Please do continue this point.
Interrupting me.
Please tell us how hard it is for him, man.
Stop interrupting me.
I'm listening. Please go on.
Please
go on.
No, Slumflower.
I'm waiting now. I said you should go on now. Go on.
Oh yeah, Pharaoh, let's go.
Go on.
My father, I watched him suffer from a head bullet wound.
Yeah.
Entering. Can you stop it?
I'm listening now.
No, Slumflower.
I'm listening.
No interjection. No.
Finish your points now.
Yo.
I'm listening.
Don't do that.
I'm listening.
That got real.
Can she stop talking? Or
I'm listening to your points.
This woman is evil. This woman is laughing while he's talking about his dad had a bullet wound in his head. Man, this woman is evil. People like this you can't take serious. Anything she talk about for his plans, what she wants for the future, that future is real bleak. I don't have any faith in it because she's the type of archetype of a person that just wants to use people. And I've heard her on podcasts before just say egregious things. So I already knew where this conversation was going to go. But you got this guy over here that's trying to be very honest. He's trying to be very humble. He seems intelligent. And she's just being insufferable and difficult for no reason.
Finish your points.
Please don't interject.
Finish your points. We're listening to your story.
That's wild.
Just carry on.
No. You are telling a good story.
It's cool.
Please.
You have a soul?
I'm listening. You have my full attention.
No, you don't have a soul.
But you have my attention. What?
My mom, always say
she don't have a soul.
The hard part of, giving birth and all of that. And I also watch a man that's my father that's when I was 5, he got shot in the head. Luxurious boss, going to the east, trying to provide for the family. That is hard too. He suffered a head injury, and thank God he survived.
Thank God.
I saw a man that was so soft and masculine at the same time. There were times where, I would go to, maybe I was sick and I would go to the hospital and it's the last injection. And I was really scared of injections. And my dad would just say, okay, do you know what? Let's just tell mom, see that you have taken it. Let's go. Those are the moments that I saw a man that was so compassionate, that really put his masculinity into the family, and he worked really, really hard.
That's real.
So I don't weigh the sacrifice of my mom over the sacrifice of my dad. They are equal to me because they equally made sure that we all came out good. We had the best of educations to the levels that we had to get, and I appreciate the both of them for it.
That's how it should be.
I saw a woman that contributes to the family, a man that contributes to the family. There was no, I bring more money, you bring more money, and all of that. They both supported each other and they supported the family, and we are all good. And I will be damned before I allow any girl to come into my life and feel like I'm the one that is supposed to just be, doing everything for her when she's not doing stuff for me. Real. And then we're also talking about, what
that would be an extractor. We need reciprocation. If I'm gonna be doing, you got to be doing as well. That's the only way that it's going to work. But if you're gonna feel like somebody feel like they are some form of a prize, the way they don't have to put in anything, that is not going to be a great relationship either side.
Men doing the society and all of that. There's what we call the STEM jobs. 90% of it are done by men. They are done by men. This is hard work that men put. Basically, if men disappears today, everything is going to shut down in 2 weeks.
Not true.
From electricity, petroleum, everything is going to disappear in 2 weeks. STEM. Because the male engineers make up for at least 94%.
We have a woman in space right now. I think that's an outdated statistic.
So if
we have a lot of
put her stock in who's in space right now, when we talk about who runs the infrastructure, this woman is goofy.
engineers that
Did
women
I
as well.
did I
He said
say
94. He said 94% actually.
94%?
So a greater
can the
number.
6%
Okay, good.
work for the whole world? It's going to take you guys some time. I'm not saying men
worry,
are
we'll
more
get there.
important than women or women are more important than men. What I'm trying to say is that we complement each other and we should find a way of loving and respecting each other to make the whole world a better place. When we are looking for people that we just want to get into relationship because of money, then that is not love.
Wow.
You love Nnamdi Azikiwe and Benjamin Franklin, you don't love the man. If you're looking for a girl that you just want to sleep with her, you don't love her, you just love sex.
I can agree with that.
So this is the balance that we are trying to create. This is not men over women. And when people focus on, I seriously, none of my friends can, make me feel like, the contribution of women is nothing. I shut them down immediately because I see what women go through.
Yeah.
And any of my female friends that feel like what men do is not important, I shut them up immediately because what men are doing, they're risking their life every single day.
Yeah.
There are men right now under the sea welding iron. Imagine you are under salt water and you are welding with electricity.
She couldn't imagine because she wouldn't be doing anything like that.
One mistake and you are gone. You are fish food.
Facts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are
And
there
then-
women
hard.
doing this?
There are women, listen, there's a woman in
What's
space
the
right now.
statistic? I mean, a woman can
He
be
can
in
help us with the
space
stats.
right
I don't have
now.
the stats.
There are-
But like,
there are
how
obviously more-
many
there are obviously
women
more men
Is a hard
in
job.
science, technology, engineering,
Yeah,
and
that
That
mathematics.
hard job
There are
now.
more men.
You don't have to go
Men do the
far.
harder job.
Largely
saying that,
because of the
okay,
You
barriers
don't have
of
to go
entry.
far.
He's saying that
Boko
men do
Haram,
the harder
how
job.
many women are
Can
there?
women do
That's
the
not a
harder
job. That's terrorism.
It's
No,
their
I
job.
mean the opposition, the men fighting. Like we had a soldier here.
You had a
In the
soldier
same
where?
chair. We had him here. He
Okay.
was 2.5 years in
service?
Maiduguri.
4 years and 9.
Four.
4 years and
in
9
the
months.
forest, 2.5 years
Yes,
in the forest itself.
So where we go? Is
There were no women there.
Is this a question
Why?
about who has it harder? Is that what we're discussing?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want my answer, I can give my answer.
Yes, please.
So,
Farrah, are you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, please.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Anyway, so my answer
don't
to the
give
question is
two
women
F's,
have it
it's sad.
harder because I'm yet to meet a man who can tell me what measures he takes every single day to prevent being killed by a woman. Because when I speak to any woman, especially on a night out, it's 4 a.m., you're heading home, you've called your Uber, the first thing her friends are going to do is ask her, please let me know when you're home. There's a reason why.
Duh.
And largely that reason is because that Uber ride could be the last Uber ride she ever takes. Now, aside from
We
that,
ask our homies if they make it home as well. Anything can happen. You can get in a car accident or someone can actually harm you. Like what the point she's trying to make is kind of crazy to say that men are always trying to harm women.
as well, we're living in a world where we have to have our governments create laws to stop men from marrying female children. That's a huge issue. If your government needs to tell you to stop marrying children, then men have a problem. Now,
doing that in
aside
Africa?
from that as well, when we look at mortality rates around the world, and we look at how the women's reproductive system is controlled, especially in America, what's happening right now with the abortion rules and the abortion laws, where depending on what state you live in, you're not allowed to have an abortion, even if you are a 9-year-old child who was raped by a family member. Now, I don't know anywhere in the world where there are laws put in place to stop men from having autonomy over their reproductive systems. So when we're talking about who has it harder, we have to also think about why we're having this discussion, because we could spend forever arguing about men's feelings and how men have it harder because they do harder jobs. But the reality is there is still no place in the world where a man stands to lose his human rights because he is a man. But we have many places in the world where, depending on what country you're in, your rights as a woman is reduced. I mean, look at Iran right now.
Last I checked, all citizens fall underneath the blanket of a nation. So it don't matter what country you in, male or female, there's things that men cannot do. There's gonna be things that women cannot do. And when it comes down to the whole abortion thing, the reason why it's selective in certain states, we just talking about America, is because it's still somewhat immoral when you think about it. You're killing a child. So I don't understand how they could be arguing something like that. That's why it's so dicey, because it's immoral.
Look at the countries in the world where we're seeing these new ideas and forceful laws being pushed on women to the point where now you're not allowed to have any skin visible except a slit for your eye to be shown. And that's not me talking about religion. That's talking about control over women's bodies. I would like anybody in the room to tell me of a country in the world, at least one country in the world, where men have laws imposed on their bodies, especially their fertility rights. So if you can't give me an answer, then you can't tell me that men have it harder in the world. Because you, as a man, you will never know the experience of being told that you don't have the final say over what you do with your body, even in a circumstance where, for example, you've been raped without your consent and you're still forced to keep that pregnancy, and how that
Okay, if a man rapes, he going to jail.
Ruins your life for the ongoing future. Men don't have that.
I disagree with you.
Because give me your
I
response.
disagree with you.
Of course you would disagree now.
The little boys that have been, there's a lady on TikTok that just for TikTok gifts, she was giving head to her child, her 2-year-old child.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
That video is out there.
That's inappropriate on her part. She shouldn't have done that.
Can you let me talk?
And she deserves
Let me
prosecution.
finish. Can she stop interrupting?
Finish your point. My name is Chidera, by the way. I'm not she. Thank you. Finish your point.
Can she stop interrupting?
Finish your points.
All right, Pharaoh, finish your point. Chidera,
finish that your
little
nonsense
boys,
points.
No,
little
Chidera.
boys. It's nonsense. She just called it nonsense points. A little boy that is being given head by his own mother. She said it's a nonsense
That's
point.
disgusting. She did
This
not
is
do
a
that.
demon right here.
You're the demon.
Straight up.
You're the
She's a
demon. That's
right
why
here.
you're not at rest. That's why I'm triggering you so much.
So,
You can't even look at me. You're scared.
I'm not even triggered because of you.
Oh,
you know?
you're so scared. You
I'm
can't
not
even
triggered
look
because
at
of
me.
you.
Oh.
I feel the pain of,
you feel the pain?
of a lot of people.
Is it hurting?
That we
Chidera, please, and Pharaoh, I think it's important that as adults, you know, we show respect to each other.
Oh, of course.
Why we might not agree.
Please finish. Let him finish his point. I'm listening.
So why we might not agree.
Well, we can still listen.
Yes, it's important that we allow people express themselves.
Ngwa, finish your
as
points.
adults, we show respect.
Ngwa, let's let him finish
So
his
moving
point.
on.
Ngwa, finish your point.
Wait now.
I'm letting him finish the point
Well,
now.
let me finish
Ngwa,
first.
finish your point.
So let's allow.
I'm gonna leave it right there. I can't really listen to any more of this. This is pretty crazy. This debate is really, really long. This is almost 3 hours long. So I don't know how all of them sat right there. Having her speak, as long as she spoke with all the things that she said, I think everything was pretty egregious just listening to all her talking points. None of it is anything that can, I think, that actually be, stood on or stand the test of time to a real productive society. To just say that men are all bad and an all-woman society would thrive. The patriarchy is necessary. It is what it is. The patriarchy is necessary. Women benefit off of it. Were things back in the day, were they bad? For sure. That's why I think we trying to move in a direction to where we can level out the playing field to where there's equal rights for everybody. There's more choice than ever in today's age, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we should have choice to be able to do the things that we want to do, the choices that we want to make. If you feel like you want to be in a certain career field, go for it. But we can't sit right here and still say that there's people holding us back from doing that. Man, you can go wherever you want. You can dive into whatever you want to dive into. But it's kind of sad that, the diaspora is pretty rough over there. I'm not going to lie. They're dealing with it pretty bad when it comes down to male and female gender dynamics. So I'll have this link in the description so y'all can watch it in its entirety. Make sure y'all like the video, hype the video, comment below. This is your guy, JayBReacts. And until next time, y'all, peace.